Welcome back as we talk table tennis here on Scrutinizing the Issues. Did you know that table tennis has been an Olympic sport since 1988, involving singles and doubles? In 2008, a teams event will replace the doubles. The International Table Tennis Federation has over 200 member countries, and more than 100 countries participate at World Championships. Did you know that table tennis is the fastest ball sport in the world, with the ball traveling at, get this, over 180 kilometers per hour and spinning at up to 150 revolutions per second? Table tennis is the national sport of China and has over 20 million registered players. Very interesting facts, don't you think? Well, we're here and we're still with Leonard Olivec, and he is the coordinator of development program, International Table Tennis Association. And joining us for this segment is Peter Kavanaugh. He is the National Development Officer of the Jamaica Table Tennis Association. Gentlemen, very interesting facts about table tennis. Table tennis is the fastest ball sport in the world. Never even thought about it. Traveling at 180 kilometers per hour and spinning at 150 revolutions. Why do I keep saying
you said it? I mean, the whole issue of development. As you know, Jamaica has a wonderful history in terms of, in the past, of doing well. We had the first Caribbean champion in 1958 in the form of my coach, who is the great Fernando Roberts, who is, defensive play. We became 3 times Caribbean champion. Later, between 67 and 73, of course, the great Orville Haslam, 5-time consecutive champion. Then Stephen Hilton, we had our Michael Hyatt, we had our Carl Morgan. Quite a few, but then we seem to have lost our way after the period of the 80s. I mean, we still have our young players like Yvonne Foster. Yvonne is just 15, and even the other day she went down to Ghana. Those 3 gold medals she came back with. But what we want to see, and the challenge is, the whole issue of development should never just remain with a handful of persons paving the way. We believe a better picture is that of making it broad-based, popularizing the sport. And there are many things that are linked in the table tennis which can assist an individual. Nowadays we talk a lot about exercise and wellness and your diet and keeping away from drugs and being non-violent and being sportsmanlike and having certain values and attitudes. Well, all of that is incorporated in the sport of table tennis. Because you learn first and foremost that your body must be taken care of. It is your best asset. And the good thing too is it's also so broad that it can also include persons who are not probably fully able-bodied through the Paralympic program. And here in Manchester we're fortunate in that we have like institutions nearby, like the Caribbean Christian Center for the Deaf, which they have been doing a lot of work for over 50 years now with this area. And even there, a person don't have to necessarily be able to hear the ball as long as they see it. And there are possibilities there that we could also incorporate a program like that. What we're doing for the next 2 weeks.
Blind people are playing cricket, I guess.
Yeah, well, yes.
Well, beg your pardon, visually impaired. Beg your pardon.
Yes, be careful. You have to be careful there, son. So what the plan that we have is that it's not for us to literally say depend so much on those who have gone before. We have an aging set of athletes that have done their best in trying to represent the country, but guess what? They are what they call guaranteed world standards now. The model you have in front of you will go a long way to helping us to address some of the problems, because it starts with the kids from 5 years old. And it shows you the path that you can take that will carry them from that age to another segment to early teenage years. And if you follow that very closely, you'll be assisting them in the right way. You'll be speaking to psychological development, you'll be talking to physical development, biomechanics, and most and more importantly is that of the values, because it's a fair play is the foundation of table tennis, being a good sports, because you're not going to win all the time.
Yeah.
And the principle is not so much to even win every time, but
and one of the good things I know about table tennis too is that it's not one of the expensive games, because I just sitting here, I just remembered when I was in high school, there was this wall at our school that was possibly about this side, and about the length of this desk. And what we'd do is a number of us would put a piece of board across the wall, and would have a piece of board. Yeah. And all we'd buy would be the ball, and would be playing table tennis with the board. So, you know, it is one of the games that you don't need a huge
We're not going to call their name very close to us.
Why we're not calling the name?
But in Cuba, the situation is that in fact that's what they have been using, because, you know, there is the issues related to the embargo. Yes. And so within that country, if you find 100 balls, there's probably a lot to find. And yet still, Cuba produces
some of
great
the best
champions.
They have one of the best players in Latin America now.
There you go.
You see, you have to be creative. And we are talking about the beginning when you start. Then you need better equipment to continue.
As you continue.
No?
But just to say that, you know, you don't need anything expensive to start with. A deodorant ball, folks. I mean, everyone has deodorant at home, and you can use that, the ball. After the deodorant. Children, after the deodorant is finished, of course. Don't go taking out your...
It's a part of the vision of the whole thing. Is like I said, I've been a part of the association for going into about a little over 2.5 years now, and we returned unanimously. Never in the history of the sport, I think, we ever had that sort of democratic situation. And our vision is that we must be able to concentrate on at least 3 different areas. Last year we certified some international umpires, and they have been over a year and a half ago, and they have been working all over the World Championships, in the Caribbean, at the Caribbean Championships, at the US Open. In Ghana, even the other day, our umpires are the ones who have been leading the charge. So we have our umpires on one hand. On the other side, of course, you have the players, and the third segment for your third piece, a 3-piece attack or 3-prong attack is that of the coaches. And by doing this, you know, this is the way we think we have to go. We're not a country with a lot of resources, but the bottom line, and even at the Northern Caribbean University, is one of our best venues, you know. Every year in October, November, we have the joint NCU Manchester Table Tennis Championship for the past a number of years now. And the national players come here, and this is where they like to hunt at the gymnatorium. One of the best playing facilities that you can find anywhere in Jamaica is right here. At the gymnatorium. And we have partnered on a number of programs. Some months ago, through the technical director, we did a club coach program over 2 Sundays. And most of our participants came from this institution.
To get, as the National Development Officer, to get a person like Leandro to come to Jamaica, somebody of his ilk, that must be an expensive undertaking, because obviously, you know, even just to travel to get here is expensive. What are the chances? Obviously, he's training trainers right now, but what are the chances of, because this must be something that must be continued, you know, you want to have that sort of international input. What are the chances of continuing this, maybe even not annually, but every 2-3 years or so? Well,
the model that has been advocated through the IITTF program is that once someone like Leandro comes, for you to get to a level 2 program to come to Jamaica, which hasn't really happened in recent time, you have to have at least 10 official conductors, at least, or coaches. You have level 1 coaches. You have to have at least 10. And that is where we're hoping to go next, you know. Out of the group of 55 which we have this time around, we already have a couple, you know, but out of a group of 55 that we have over the next 2 weeks, that maybe out of that we can at least get the base that we need, so that we might not be next year, maybe the following year, so we can initiate a level 2
Okay.
and further.
Okay.
The idea is that Jamaica don't need to bring someone from abroad to do this work.
Yes.
So that's why in the next week I will run a course conductors training. So a Jamaican can do the work that I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And then for the next level, okay, we send someone to come here and for level 2.
You were born in
Buenos Aires.
Brazil.
No, in Argentina.
Argentina. Tells you about my geography. I know absolutely nothing. You were born in Argentina. You now live in Germany. I'm sure you must have seen table tennis and played table tennis in Argentina, also in Germany.
Yeah.
How does Jamaica compare to what you have seen in your homeland and where you now live?
Well, I think it's much. Jamaica is closer to Argentina in terms of the sports development. There is a.
And where is Argentina? On a ranking of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, where?
Well, Argentina is in a Latin American level. Let's say it's the best countries are most developed are in Asia, in the East Asia, and in Europe. In Europe is very popular, but Argentina is a football country, and the people are always thinking about the football. But the table tennis is popular, but it's not the first one like the football, no? And yeah, there are similar levels, Argentina and Jamaica, but Germany is much higher. It's one of, let's say, Germany is maybe one of the countries that can defeat some players in China, and it's not easy to defeat
the Chinese. Yeah. So that. How far are we from getting to that level?
Well,
in your estimation,
some years.
Yeah.
I think.
5, 6, 7 years?
Yeah, or maybe more. I think you are doing a serious work here in Jamaica, but it takes time because also think about the difference of China and Jamaica. If there are 20 million people registered players,
and
so even if all Jamaicans are playing table tennis, you cannot reach that.
Yeah,
no,
it's going to be difficult.
I think in terms of the whole thing, it's not so much the issue of a Jamaican ever beating a Chinese national player now, because I don't think that is where our head is. Yes, we want that. Once upon a time, we were the Caribbean powerhouse, and so we're going to go step by step. I mean, first area that we look at is how do we regain our status within the Caribbean itself, and then perhaps we can now look at perhaps Latin American region. But the problem is this,
where is Jamaica in the Caribbean now?
I think within the top perhaps about within the top 5.
Top 5?
Yeah.
Foster is really...
Yes, well, she's an upcoming talent, but we look at both male and female opportunities. And the other thing about this course is that the fact that we have included, or part of the program, are at least 5 Bajans. We believe in the synergy of the original federation, the Caribbean Table Tennis Federation is there, and we are part of the found in 8 countries. And I tell you, we're the first champion. And Fernando Roberts is still alive, my coach.
Okay.
Still playing at over 80.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, so that's what we're advocating. We're saying if it is that you don't have to play as an expert.
Right.
You need your exercise. You're diabetic, you're hypertensive, your doctor say to you that you need to take some exercise. You can't run on the hard surface or so. Come and take our ping pong bat. The Manchester Table Tennis Association is there, and we are able to facilitate. You can make contact through Optimal System with our president, Bert Welch. He's there. I'm in Manchester, I'm a PR person, but make contact with us. We have a venue, the wellness centers, where we have a couple of boards, and so you can come and
where's
with
the
your family.
Wellness center?
It's on the English side. It was formerly the badminton hut. That's it. That's it.
Okay.
So what we're saying is that more persons, if you're looking and wondering what kind of exercise, you can go to the gym or so. Think table tennis. You can be played in any weather at all, almost on any surface. You don't have to have any.
Well,
even stone tables.
Yeah.
What we love to see in our parks is like in China, stone tables. Yeah. Every park can have at least a stone table, so when a family come, they can at least ping pong around a little bit.
Right.
I don't have to play like an expert. I mean, not everybody wants to play like an expert.
Right. And not everybody realistically will ever be.
It's about fun. It's all about fun. It's not, you know.
How much importance do you place on the fun factor in table tennis. Is this a part of what you're imparting to your coaches?
Well, all the day I was saying to the coaches that when you have to teach to the children, you have to think about giving them fun, activity, and learning. I think I repeat that many times during the course today and during this week. It's of course it's necessary to provide them fun, because if not, they are not coming for the next time. But they also have to learn and to do some activity, because if it is only fun, you can tell them some jokes and that's all. But you need to give them activity, activity, and they have to learn something, some skills.
Right.
Let me tell you something, Glendon. The spread that we have at Sir Teachers College, and that's why I want NCU to come down and to look at what we're doing, get some cutaways, get some to do some interviews. When the paraplegics and other persons come in, hopefully on Friday, come in and see what is happening there. You take a racket like this and put it into the hand of anybody, whether it be that you've been playing for 50 years, like my coach, been playing over 50 years now, or someone who just start, and give them a little ball, and it's all about fun.
Yes.
You come there, you'll see that it's about the moment you give somebody a ball and this and put them on something, the fun starts.
And as Leandro was saying earlier, I mean, it's an all-inclusive sport.
Yes,
A paraplegic can play against an able-bodied person.
Yes.
Right, so Cornelia can go down and play, even though, I mean, you can play against me, Cornelia. I'll be the paraplegic and you'll be the able-bodied person.
What we should say is that the table tennis is, we are not only thinking about the elite sport, we are thinking also about the sport for all. We are thinking also about using the table tennis as a tool for the human development. We are running different programs through the ITTF, like in Afghanistan, after the invasion that they had in, we were the first sport going there in 2004 to run courses and to give them the opportunity.
Are you in Iraq?
Yeah, we're running courses in Iraq as well.
Okay.
Yeah, we're running 100 courses per year. Right now we're running also part of our humanitarian program. We are running a program in Kosovo as well to the victims of the conflict there.
Okay, you might have heard a voice off camera because Donald Salmon is still here. What did you say, Donald?
Iraq beat Jamaica in the World Championship.
The other day?
Iraq
Yes, Iraq beat us.
Okay, when was that? In February?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So they know how to lob, not only grenades. They lob table tennis.
It's a sport that offers the opportunity to open doors and the whole business of friendship. That is the bottom line of table tennis. You know? Regardless of your style, the Chinese might hold it the back this way, and we might say we shake our hand that way. But guess what? There is a unity and a synergy and a harmony that exists outside. China opened its door in the 70s because Nixon, the table tennis team, went from America to China, and within a year the president went to China, and that was the only way the Cold War ended, because the American Chinese table tennis team went.
Okay, Cornelia has just given me the wrap-up signal. Or final words.
Well, our hope is that Jamaicans will benefit, especially the kids, from the programs that we're doing, and for the more senior persons, I mean, we're open as an association to partner with companies, with institutions, with the partnership that we have with NCU, which is very special and dear to us.
Yes.
And just don't hesitate to call us. We have our website, the Jamaica Table Tennis Association website, which is listed. And you know, we stand ready and prepared to send our coaches out and to come and assist you. If you're a school and you need help, we're there for you.
Okay. Leandro?
Just saying that take your racket to everybody, take a racket or take your deodorant or whatever you can use to play and try to play. That's all.
All right. Okay, folks, thanks very much for coming.
Thanks, Lyndon.
We hope you enjoyed the program, and obviously we'll try to do it for you again next week.